What can we do with respect to getting the truth from power?
That's a good question. Organize, agitate, write letters to your congressman. That seems very anemic in the scheme of things here. You know, we ought to appeal to our media to do a better job. Is the New York Times doing very well on this subject? I do see some in-depth reporting on it, but certainly not commensurate with the problem that we're facing. So I'd like to see more of that. I think there's a role for journalism and media to play in this. We need leaders. Dahr? Steve? I tried.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Well, I think I've mentioned many things tonight. I don't know if there's much I can add to it. I think the main thing would be do what you feel you can really do and accomplish something with, and but make sure it's something you actually will do and will stick with. So, because it's easy to have resolutions and think about things, and then, you know, often we don't do half the things or even 80% of the things we want to do. So I would say narrow it down. What are the things that you're most passionate about and that you think that you can actually do, and then start doing them and kind of have another range of things that you'll do once you get the first things done. But get some concrete things accomplished and then start expanding your territory of influence. That's what I would say. But whatever, do it rather than just think about it.
Okay. I would like if each of you would make a final closing statement of any final thoughts you want to leave us with.
I'm kind of blown away by what I've heard here tonight. You know, I only know really of climate change from living in this world and reading about it in the media, from studying the science of ticks and how climate change has propelled them around the climate, around the world. I will leave this conference with a sense of renewal, that I have to do more in my own little world, as well as in, you know, the profession I have undertaken for the last 40 years to change this situation. The fate of the planet is in our hands.
I'd just like to say I'm very, very honored to be on this panel with both of you, because you've been at this a lot longer than me. And just to reiterate what I said earlier too, that I take heart knowing that there are people like this and, you know, you engaged in different activities on different topics, that none of us has time. If we're gonna do something and do it really, really well, we have to be focused. And I certainly don't have time to do the body of research that you've had to do or that you've had to do. And so I take heart knowing that there's other people out there doing a lot of extraordinary work in this conference and in untold numbers of other conferences like this on different activities and different topics. And so try to find some solace in that, because otherwise this is all so utterly overwhelming, and just know that take heart in the fact that there's millions of other people out there working really hard for the planet too. And then the thought that I conclude with is just to pass on what helps me is I get up each morning, and part of my routine is to really ask to be shown how can I be of service to the planet and to her people, and carry that spirit in to my activities through the day, whether it's just how I interact with people or if it's directly engaged in what I'm working on. And you know, that's going to bring a lot of the right kind of energy into the world right now, at a time when the world is in sore, dire need of some better energy. Thank you.
Well, I too I feel privileged to have been on the panel with both of you, and I've learned a lot. I knew that the climate change problem was dire, but I have learned even deeper dimensions of it and feel more stimulated and inspired to become even more engaged. I've also, it's becoming increasingly clear to me, and one of the main theme in my talk this afternoon was that how there's a link. I mean, there's similarities between the attack on science that's occurring in regard to GMOs, where it's being, unfortunately, the main assault is being led by elements of the scientific community in league with industrial and corporate interests that actually are hurting the planet and doing so many bad things to the environment and making the climate situation worse. And that the attack on climate science is also, of course, weakening our ability to intelligently deal with it. But the attack on science in regard to GMOs, the people that are promoting GMOs through deception and attacking science, are usually also attacking organics and poo-pooing the notion that we can move away from industrial agriculture. And so it's linked up. There are links. And so it's making me clearer too that by focusing on bringing out the truth about the problems of GMOs and helping bring the demise of agriculture that's based on genetic engineering and moving toward sustainable, healthful solutions, that the health of the population and the health of our soil, the health of the planet, are all being improved because there are deep links. And so anyway, I'm more resolved to continue doing what I'm doing and to spread the education, educate people as best as I can, and to also just applaud people like Dahr and Mary Beth who are really working on the problem in other very important ways. And as they've expressed too, together with all of us working on what we're doing, I still feel that we can make major solutions, and I continue to remain optimistic, but we have to stay committed and we have to get going. So, and thanks again to Steve for organizing this conference. And